Hello?
Jesus. This is
Jake Paul's world has unraveled in dramatic fashion following his recent arrest, marking a spectacular fall from grace. The once dominant YouTuber and self-proclaimed boxing champ faces serious charges that could leave him behind bars, with no chance of bail. This isn't about minor offenses. It's about allegations that have exposed his darkest secrets, dragging them into the spotlight. Years of building his loud, controversial brand have crumbled in an instant, leaving his reputation in tatters. What's striking is the lack of public sympathy. There's no outcry, no support. The internet has turned its back on him, and the shocking nature of the arrest's cause has only fueled the chaos surrounding his name. The infamous press conference on August 18th at the Jacob Javits Center in New York City will forever be remembered as the moment Jake Paul crossed the line. What was supposed to be another over-the-top hype fest for his big fight with Mike Tyson turned into an absolute disaster. From the moment Jake swaggered onto the stage, something felt off. Known for his trash talk, he took things way too far this time. In an appalling move, Jake mocked Tyson's illness, a decision that left the crowd stunned. The room fell dead silent, as if everyone collectively held their breath, struggling to process the train wreck unfolding before them. It was a career-defining moment, for all the wrong reasons. The crowd at the press conference was left in stunned silence, and even Jake Paul's most diehard fans had to be thinking, did he really just say that? But Jake wasn't done. True to his signature arrogance, he puffed out his chest and doubled down, declaring that respect, honor, or even the sport itself meant nothing to him. For Jake, it was all about the money, and Mike Tyson was just another pawn in his relentless pursuit of cash and fame.
You had to go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before. You needed a little break. Your tummy hurt? Your tummy?
Let's not pretend Jake was ever in it to improve his skills or learn from a legend like Tyson. His focus was never on growth. It was always about staying in the spotlight, feeding the buzz, and inflating his ego. Meanwhile, Tyson was battling real health issues, including ulcers, and could have easily stepped away from the fight. But instead, Tyson took a moment to recover and then returned with dignity to face Jake. For Jake, there was no interest in growth. Remember when he challenged Mike Perry? That wasn't about becoming a better fighter. It was just another headline-grabbing stunt. Jake Paul's rise in the boxing world has been less about sport and more about a soap opera of controversy and ego. Jake Paul's journey in boxing has been riddled with so much drama and controversy that it's hard not to question its authenticity. Sure, his bravado and massive social media following have kept him in the spotlight, but loud whispers, no outright shouts, from fans and boxing experts have cast doubt on the legitimacy of his victories. Those conveniently timed TKOs have raised more than a few eyebrows, making many wonder if Jake's wins are as authentic as he claims. In professional boxing, every punch matters, and the referee's judgment is final. But when it comes to Jake Paul's bouts, refereeing decisions have often sparked suspicion. Take his fight against Tyron Woodley on August 29, 2021. The match ended in a TKO, but to many, it looked more like a stage act than a genuine boxing outcome. Woodley, known for his toughness, seemed uncharacteristically out of the fight, as if the bout was designed to keep Jake from hitting the canvas. Then there was the spectacle against Ben Askren on April 17, 2021. Another TKO, another round of what just happened. Askren, a seasoned fighter, was unexpectedly floored in a manner that felt more choreographed than competitive. The suspicions surrounding Jake's fights refused to fade. Former MMA champion Ben Askren barely hit the floor before the referee swooped in to call the fight. It was as if the ref had training wheels on Jake Paul's career, ensuring he stayed upright at all costs. Fans and critics alike couldn't help but question whether these victories were truly earned or part of a larger scheme to protect a rising star with questionable credentials. This isn't just a small cloud over Jake's career. It's a looming storm threatening to overshadow every success he tries to celebrate.
To to make $40 million and knock out a legend. I don't give a fuck about anything else. And he's the one that wanted it to be a pro fight, so he's going to get his ass knocked out real.
Enter Mike Tyson, a man who has seen and done it all in the boxing world. Tyson wasn't about to let Jake's suspicious wins go unchallenged. When he announced the knockout-only rule for their upcoming clash, it wasn't just a rule tweak. It was a direct challenge. Tyson was saying, "Prove you're the real deal. No shortcuts, no handouts." The crowd erupted with excitement at the idea of a genuine fight, eager to see if Jake could back up his bravado. Jake, however, was far from thrilled. He grabbed the mic and unleashed a tirade that had little to do with boxing and everything to do with his fragile ego. It wasn't just an outburst. It was a meltdown, revealing just how rattled he was by Tyson's challenge. The thought of fighting under Mike Tyson's strict knockout-only rules, with no room for his usual antics, had Jake Paul visibly panicking. His trademark swagger vanished, replaced by a desperate scramble to regain control as the situation spiraled out of his grasp. It was a stark contrast to the bold claims he had made during negotiations, where he vowed to fight on Tyson's terms and prove himself. Now, faced with the reality of those terms, Jake was backpedaling so fast it was almost comical. The bravado had crumbled, leaving a man clearly unprepared for the challenge. Things took an even darker turn when legal troubles emerged. Jake faced charges for breaching his contract and potential fraud, caught in the legal web Tyson's team had spun. The arrest came swiftly and without warning, leaving Jake, and everyone else, stunned. One moment, he was the carefree showman. The next, he was being hauled away, looking less like the brash YouTuber-turned-boxer and more like a kid caught red-handed. If anyone thought this was the end of the saga, they were wrong. The fallout was just beginning, and Jake's carefully curated image was unraveling faster than anyone could have predicted. The storm was far from over. The saga took a legendary turn when Mike Tyson sat down on Logan Paul's podcast and addressed why he was coming after Jake Paul so hard. Tyson, never one to mince words, didn't disappoint. He laid it all out, making it clear this wasn't just about a contract dispute. It was personal. This was about respect, sticking to your word, and the integrity that has defined Tyson's career both inside and outside the ring. Tyson has always been a fighter, never backing down or letting disrespect slide. But when Jake disrespected him at the press conference and then tried to worm out of their deal, Tyson didn't lose control. He didn't let the fiery, impulsive version of his younger self take over. Why? Because Tyson has learned something invaluable over the years. The power of keeping his cool, even when every instinct screams to throw hands. On the podcast, Tyson framed it perfectly. This wasn't about anger, it was about principle. He wanted to show Jake, and the world, that real fighters don't just talk big, they honor their commitments. Tyson's calm resolve became the ultimate statement, proving respect and integrity still hold weight in a world full of bluster. In his no-nonsense style, Mike Tyson explained, "I'm a straightforward person," his voice carrying the weight of 1,000 battles. Jake Paul's trash talk didn't faze him. Tyson's been through too much for words to make him blink. What truly got under his skin was Jake's blatant disregard for their agreement. For Tyson, this wasn't just about boxing. It was about being a man of your word. And in Tyson's world, your word is everything. Tyson could have easily let his legendary temper flare. We all know what happens when Mike Tyson gets mad. But instead, he chose a different path. Why? Because he's learned where that kind of anger leads. Reflecting on his past, Tyson admitted he once settled disputes with his fists, no questions asked. That was the Tyson who ruled the ring, who didn't take nonsense. But it's also the Tyson who now understands the power of restraint. Mike Tyson knows all too well the consequences of losing control. His temper has landed him in trouble more times than he can count. Reflecting on his past, Tyson admitted that his old ways of handling conflict often made things worse. It's a stark reminder of the fine line he walks between staying composed and letting chaos take over. Having lived a life where one wrong move could bring everything crashing down, Tyson made a deliberate choice when Jake Paul started acting up. This wasn't just about keeping Jake in check. It was about keeping his own demons at bay. By addressing the situation legally, Tyson showed he's learned from his past and refuses to let anyone drag him back into the chaos he's worked so hard to escape. It was a powerful move, a testament to the man Tyson has become, proving that the toughest battles are often fought within.